Hello everyone, hello everyone, and hello everyone. Welcome back to the rest. Stop. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another placebo massage, but this time on your legs. So I've kind of mocked up a rather funny looking leg setup, if you will, with my New Balance pants, my slick pants. I stuffed them with towels and a sweatshirt so we could have a pair of legs. I'll be going through some of the anatomy. If I can remember correctly, I kind of brushed up just a minute ago on the leg anatomy for what I didn't remember, so I'm gonna try to help you release some of the tension, primarily in your quads and hip areas. So I hope you enjoy this video. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so first and foremost, you're laying on your back on a nice comfortable bed. Plenty of room. It's nice and cushiony, but it has some good firmness to it, so your back won't be sagging into the bed, which is what we don't want. So this would be, the front of your leg. Like I said, you're laying on your back. These would be your hips, your quads, and the front of your calves here, okay? And you don't have feet, but no matter, because you have legs and we're gonna work on them. Something I have an issue with myself as I voice crack is I often get really tight in these hip areas. This would be the tensor fasciolata. Tensor fasciolata. That's that big meaty hip part right in here. Sometimes when I go down to tie my shoes, they cramp. Remember, I always talk about strengthening. And when you finally give that muscle its room to fully contract, remember, they're holding on. They're really holding on. When you're weaker, you have to hold on tighter. So when I bend over to tie my shoes, I'm shortening the distance that they have to contract. So now they've been holding on right here. Now all of a sudden they're right here and they can cramp up. So I'm gonna try to work around doing some things that could help relieve that sort of tension, that sort of tightness in that muscle. Increased blood flow, get some oxygen in there, and give you some room to really work on those strength exercises. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna start at the bottom, at your feet. So I'm just gonna work my way. Now this would be your tibial side. So anterior tibialis is this front muscle, your shin. Your shin bone runs right here. That's the tibia. All right. So I'm really kind of just gonna go along the side. Remember, this is hard bone right here, the tibia, and this would be the muscle. So I'm gonna work just down the muscle on this right leg, from basically the knee down to the top of the ankle, top of the foot. I'm gonna go down, and I'm actually gonna hold your foot, and I'm gonna go up. And when you're working on muscles, everything in your body is connected in some way or another, whether it's a nerve pathway or it's through muscles and tendons and ligaments. Everything connects. So when you're working on something, you really have to find the root of the problem and then work outwards. But sometimes to get to the root of the problem, you have to find other areas to begin and then other areas to end up. And they all kind of go hand in hand. 6, 7. Again, on the left leg, your tibia up to your knee, and then the anterior tibialis right here. So I'm gonna go, again, hold your foot down and go up to the knee from that anterior tibialis. Just trying to give your body a nice starting point. Going back down. Try to work that relaxation up the chain into the root of the problem. Okay. So now we've done that with the anterior tibialis. You have a muscle that runs from the inside of your knee up across into the front of the hip. So that would be on the other side from here up across into the hip, and that is your sartorius. Your Jacob sartorius. Okay, so I'm going to kind of trace along that up into the hip, inside from the inside of the knee, up across into the hip, inside of the knee, up across into the hip, and then I'm going to go from that insertion point on the hip and down into the knee. I'm going to do that on both sides. So we're going to start at the knee, up across into the hip. You're a little lumpy because the towels aren't perfect, but up across into the hip. Up across into the hip. And I believe this is the longest leg muscle that we have, the sartorius. All right, so that's the sartorius. Now you have the inside of the knee, which is this teardrop muscle. It's a teardrop shape right along here. It's actually right on the inside of this sartorius, but it's more along the frontal plane. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a teardrop. Just like that. Just like that. And I'm going to hit that real quick. Working downwards towards the top of the knee. Your knee would be right here, and this teardrop kind of runs on the inside of it. Again, working both ways. And we're going to do this side. This teardrop right here. Hold your leg still, and then back down the other way. And that'll be the rectus medialis. Now you also have your rectus femoris, which is a big muscle. It's a very big, meaty muscle along the direct center of the quad. Basically be this right here. And it goes right onto the top of the knee. So we're going to hit that. Going downwards. And going back up. I like to go both ways, no pun intended, with massaging, because you're pushing that blood in all directions. Now, it's not going to pool. You know, your heart is always continually pumping, so your blood is still going to be, you know, everywhere in your body that it's supposed to be. But, I don't know, I think it's just a good practice. So we're going to hit that right leg same way, rectus femoris. Femoris, of course, because it's on your femur. That should feel pretty good. So we've hit from the bottom going up to the top, and a little bit on the interior of your thigh, quad. Now, what else are we gonna do? Let's do rectus lateralis. Now, lateralis because it's on the lateral side, the outside of your femur. So it runs kind of in front of that IT band, your iliotibial iliotibial tract, which is basically connective tissue, connecting those muscles together. Anyways, rectus lateralis is on the lateral side, so we're gonna really get some good pressure right here on this lateralis because it sits right into these IT band tissues. And if you have tight IT bands, which is caused by tight muscles, it can really mess up your knees, and I know that from personal experience. When I was playing college baseball, we were running for hours and hours and hours a day, fast, hard running, and I could barely walk because my knees hurt so bad. I was also growing some more my freshman year of college, so my knees hurt really, really bad. And I started rolling my IT bands out. What I didn't know at the time, I was rolling my lateralis, my rectus lateralis out, and loosening that IT band up, which then loosened the pressure on my knees, and I felt so much better. It hurt extraordinarily bad to do it, but it was definitely worth it. We're gonna hit this other side on the exterior, the lateral side, right in front of that IT band. Again, down to the side of the knee. I know you can't really see perfectly what I'm doing, but hopefully you can hear me well enough. So that should be pretty good for both sides. And then we have, what else do we have? I did rectus femoris, I did the sartorius, I did the lateralis, I did the medialis. What else do we have? We have these hip muscles in here, along like the groin side, towards your adductors. Let's hit the kind of order of operations here is the pectineus is higher, and then it is the adductor longus, which kind of goes down, and then your actual groin muscle is the gracilis, I believe. So I'm gonna just hold some pressure. These are really kind of tough to get at. One, because they're in an uncomfortable area, so I'm just gonna put some pressure instead of doing, any deep tissue stuff, just to kind of get that neural connection back. Hey, this muscle is here, and this is what it feels like. So I'll hit that gracilis. I'll do the same thing on this side. Just some nice solid pressure on that gracilis. Something I find is very helpful in real life is getting a lacrosse ball and actually laying on it wherever I have tightness, whether it be my lower back, but again, everything's connected. What I do is I actually, in this muscle that we're gonna hit right here, the tensor fasciolata, or you'll remember I said I cramp really, really bad. I will straight up lay on a lacrosse ball in this area. So what I'm gonna do for you is I'm just going to absolutely put a ton of pressure in that tensor fasciolata, and it's gonna hurt. This is not a pleasant feeling. But I promise you, if you have lower back problems like I do, this type of pressure for about 45 seconds is genuinely game-changing. Once you really breathe and you can feel that muscle melt over the lacrosse ball, you can physically feel your body letting go of that pressure. And as soon as I get off of that ball, my lower back pain is decreased. So I'm gonna do the other side. Do the other side right here. Again, this is the tensor fasciolata. I like that word a lot. I'm just gonna put pressure on it just for a few seconds. I know it doesn't feel good. Good things come to those who wait though, right? good there. And it feels so much better already. I know it does. Those muscles feel a lot more relaxed. I can feel they're hot with all that blood flow coming in, which is good. So we've worked from the top of the ankles up to the interior and exterior of the knee, interior of the groin, IT bands. We got your gracilis. We got your pectineus. Oh, let's go ahead and put some pressure on that. Actually, again, this is not a very enjoyable feeling, but again, you felt the difference after I let pressure off of that tensor fasciae lata in your hips. You're going to feel a difference in the front of your hips as well. We all hold a lot of tightness, usually, in the front of our hips or in our glutes, all right? And again, it's weakness. You're using your leg muscles all the time. But how long are we sitting in chairs, hunched over, allowing these muscles in our hips time off? So anyways, that's the front of your legs done for today. I'll kind of just go over the front of them one more time. Just kind of smooth you out. Nice, relaxing. I know that was a little bit painful towards the end, but I promise you, you're gonna get up from this bed and feel a lot better. You might be a little sore, but otherwise, you should be feeling pretty good. At least I hope. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's anatomical leg massage. If you did, be sure to leave me a like. Give me a comment down below. Maybe I'll do the hamstrings and the glutes next, or I can try something else like an arm massage or something like that. Just let me know what you'd like to see. I'm still working on getting an anatomical acupuncture doll, so we can kind of do some fun stuff with that. Anyways, I'll just bring you in a little closer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and as always, please, please, please have a good rest and have a Merry Christmas.